Let's go here with the X1 in the front, which has the larger double kidney in the front. The new BMW design, even bolder, even stronger. And colors, Blue Bay Lagoon for the X1. This greenish or turquoise note in the blue vehicle. It's a very interesting color indeed. There's also a darker blue available for the X1 if you like. And here we have the Alpine White for the X3. It's also a large double kidney. Recently also facelifted this X3, but not as large. So they have some similarities, both also equipped with the M Sport Pack. That's why they both have this black accentuation here in the lower part. The X3 being the bigger brother, of course, a little bit stronger, a little bit higher in the front. But I think both work design-wise. What's your take? Turning indicator comparison here in the front. Interesting here. This goes to the X1 because we have the dual turning indicators. In the side profile, the length difference here, the BMW X1 4.50 meters or 177 inches, whereas 21 centimeters or 8 inches longer. Here the X3 at 4.71 meters or 185 inches. So indeed a notable length difference. In the rear, I think they work both very well design-wise. The X3, since the most recent facelift, has this new three-dimensional, and here the different signature. Yeah, I think here it's just a matter of preference, but both very beautiful in the design. Or what do you think? Tell me in the comments. Turning indicators, however, this here is a clear win for the X3. Key fob comparison is the X1 here, the newer one, more high gloss black, a little bit more modern. In here the more classic old school X3. Let's get to the interior of the X1. Here we have flush door handles, but they still have the normal manual opening, and here also a feedback door closing sound. Definitely solid, and inside of the doors, high grade leatherette, SensorTech, and here this beige trim. And you already have a nice entry. It is basically, it feels like a grown-up SUV, although it's the smaller one here. The interior cockpit overview in the X1 is cleaner and more modern, here with this integrated curved screen. Digital instruments, clear, modern, nice to read. I think this is just a matter of preference if you prefer the one X3 or here X1. And you can see it's a very good display, nice wide integration. This is the BMW menu, a little bit overloaded I think, but you get along when you know which ones you really need. And here on the left side you always have hotkeys, and the temperature always here, or the climate menu where you control the seat heating. To me, a little bit too complicated. You have all functions, but I don't want to do that while driving. And you see this integrated shifting lever. You have less typical BMW sport feeling, but then again it's really clean and integrated. However, we still have a manual volume jog here. Cup holders are not adaptive. That's hit and miss definitely. Bottles fly around. But here that's cool. It's the seat belt for your smartphone. You can secure it like this. And behind it is an inductive charging pad. And it's actually also cool that it doesn't overheat. Rear seats, nice design there in the middle console, 2 USB-C chargers. Let's get inside. We have the same nice seat materials. Looks pretty amazing. Inside of the doors here is hardpack in the rear, but it has a nice structure, so it doesn't look hardpack actually. Well, you have this recess here in the seat, but it needs to be a little bit higher, that the recess really fits for the knees very well. So for tall adults in the rear, when tall adults are driving, kind of a problem here in the X1. Not the best. Headroom is no problem at all, and the seat comfort is also very good. In the middle seat here works too, as for my height, also from the comfort. Just again, this legroom thing, it's a shorter SUV and you do feel that here. However, you can also adjust the back part here of the seat. That's good, and also from the build quality. Interior of the X3 now. First of all, door closing sound. It's actually good as well, but I feel the X1 was even better there. Then inside of the doors, also the SensorTech. A little bit harder I feel though. Then the interior, a little bit more classic traditional setup. Also buttons on the steering wheel, same for both. When you get inside, the seating position is kind of different, yes. You sit a little bit higher, you have a more grown-up SUV feeling. Here of course you also have a lot of headroom with 189 or 6'2". Interior cockpit overview of the BMW X3, the bigger one. Same as. Also real buttons on the steering wheel, but then here we still have a manual climate unit. That's a better user interface, I feel. Screens, they are separated in digital instruments and the main infotainment unit. The digital instruments, they have here the old styling, but I mean, I also like it, so that's personal preference, I would say both do the job. Infotainment system is here the OS 7, so the older version. On the one hand, it's easier. Also here on the left side, you can see this is then the car menu where I have the driving information pretty quickly available. That is better, I think. And you can also see I can also control it from below because I still have this lower control unit. So both pro and con. Apple CarPlay integration also works very well. Here, this lower middle console, I just like to control down here. So while driving, that's easier. And also the real shifting lever in the X3. Here, the cup holders, that is better. They are adaptive. That's better than in the X1 and the inductive charging pad. X3 interior in the rear, a stronger middle tunnel because of the rear wheel drive platform. But what about the space and the legroom and so on? Yeah, I mean, here the seat itself is a little bit higher by default, so you have more space for your feet, even though when the seat is in the lowest position. And then it also fits well with the recess. So let's say maybe a little bit better, but it's more about the height. So if you put the X1 driver seat a little bit higher, it's more or less comparable. Here, maybe a little bit more. Headroom, no problem at all. And in the middle seat, is it comparable? Yes, you have this bigger tunnel here, as I said. You can also sit here, so the rear space a little bit better here with the X3. Now it's time for the big trunk comparison. So let's start here with the X1. 490 liters here, also for the plug-in hybrid. You have some more space underneath, for example, for the charging cable. And then 450 liters for the X3 in this plug-in hybrid version. Although here, I remember this step also from the US spec version from pure petrol engine to put replacement tire underneath. And yeah, liter figure wise, a little bit limited. Engine comparison, I just love that shot. So very interesting, 2-liter 4-cylinder petrol and diesel for both, but then on the lower end, a 1.5-liter 3-cylinder for the X1. The plug-in hybrid is also based on that. And on the other side, the X3 here with the longer hood houses also 6-cylinder engines, especially for the performance models. Today, it's both about the plug-in hybrid. You can pick the sport mode, a little bit more complicated than it used to be, I would say. And you can also go to the S shifting mode, and then we can accelerate from 50 kilometers an hour to, let's see, 120. Then we have to stop for a moment. 150. And 170 kilometers an hour. So pretty good in the acceleration in the whole X1 lineup. This plug-in hybrid here is one of the quickest with 5.7 seconds to 1 kilometers an hour or 62 miles an hour. The iX1 is just a little quicker, 5.6, and the quickest then will be the M350i, the 2-liter 4-cylinder tuned to this M performance model, so to speak. Here the plug-in hybrid has the 1.5-liter 3-cylinder. You maybe heard that, did you? Tell me in the comments. And it sounds somehow sportier and cooler than the 4-cylinder. When you really hit the throttle, you feel that in the first moment you get some kind of electric boost. This is, by the way, always available, the electric boost, even if the battery is depleted, because they always keep some kind of a buffer that the electric boost is always available. It does well here on the German Autobahn. Wind noises here at 160 kilometers an hour pick up here a little bit there, but I mean, this is on a very high level. It's in general a pretty silent vehicle. And it also feels so well and planted, so you do get a grown-up SUV feeling, although it's the smallest SUV in the BMW lineup. We have the adaptive suspension here, so it's also a little bit stiffer in the sport mode, and 19-inch wheels. So we have a good sporty feeling here, lane change at higher speeds. Such a good test here. It's really a lot of fun. The steering here is pretty crisp and precise. Now let's switch to the X3, also in the 30e version. Go to the sport mode, also combine both powertrains and start from 60 kilometers an hour. Let's go. $120. That's 140. So also, let's say, decently quick. So the X1 plug-in hybrid was 5.7 seconds. This one here is 6.1 seconds in the acceleration figure. And let's just accelerate further. Oh, there we hear some more power boost from that engine. Here, a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine. So, yeah, we also hear and feel that more displacement here in these higher speed regions. More is happening, 200 kilometers an hour, 125 miles an hour. Yeah, and it feels so stable on the road here with the M Sportback adaptive suspension. A little bit stiffer in the sport mode. Top speed here, 214 kilometers an hour, so like 130, 135 miles an hour. Wow, feels really good high speed as well, and also noise insulation wise, good job. It drives super well. Also, you know, here when going left and right and so on. But then again, just rolling comfort when the road is not that good. 20-inch is just a little bit too much. But the suspension is doing a good job. Love the adaptive suspension by BMW. Steering wise, I have a better feeling in the X1, because here in the X3, I would say it feels a little bit less natural in a way. So here it's kind of like a little bit more dead, but then when you go a little bit more to the side, then it suddenly becomes a little bit too hectic, you know. So I feel the steering is not that well balanced here as it is in the X1. So definitely prefer the X1 steering as for the whole feeling, how you feel connected to the vehicle. Yeah, so it has been a very interesting experience here in the driving part. But now the question is, if we combine all the different factors, exterior, interior, driving, technology and pricing. Why is pricing the small thing? Yeah. Which one should you take home? Which one would I take home? Yeah, so overall I think combining the facts and especially seating comfort, overall winner for today is the BMW X1. But what do you think? Tell me in the comments and join us for more comparison episodes.